Hey guys, it's Blue from Main Vein Games, and I am playing Rust.Alpha. So the game is actually called Rust, but it is in the alpha version of the game, so it's very early on in its development. So just keep that in mind when watching the video, because there might be a few changes if you're watching this a few weeks from now. But this is going to be a starting guide because it is a pretty difficult game to start off. It kind of just throws you into the game. It doesn't really tell you what to do. It is a survival simulator, so if you've played a game like Daisy or something like that, it is similar to that. However, there are a lot of differences, and I'll be covering some of those in the video. Also, the creator of this game also made Gary's mod, so if you've ever played that, it's a great game, and this is a great game as well, so I highly recommend picking it up. They're selling in limited availability right now, so if there are copies available, I definitely recommend buying it because it's very fun. And this is really early on as well, so it's just going to get better from here. But anyways, to start it off, I'm going to go over the UI here. So at the bottom in the middle, you'll see that there are 6 hotbar options, I guess you'd say. You can put items on here, and by hitting the numbers, it will actually select that item. And first off, in my first slot is the rock. As you can see, I'm holding it. You basically use this to do everything in the beginning of the game. The second slot is the med kit, so you can use that to heal yourself. So if you start bleeding, you'll definitely want to use that, or if you get low on HP. And then the third is this torch right here. This will light it up if it's night out, and it gets very dark at night, so this will come in handy. So you won't want to use this during the day because it does tick down. As you can see, there's a number lowering. And then moving on to the bottom right, there's health, food, and rads. So health, that's obvious. If you get to 0, you know, you're dead. So you're going to want to avoid that as much as possible, obviously. And then the second is your food level. So this lowers slowly over time. I think if the more you sprint, the faster it lowers. So you're going to want to find food before that gets to 0, else you will probably die. And then the third is rads. So this is your radiation level. Certain parts of the map will have high radiation levels, and that will rise. You'll start to hear a ticking in the background. So if you hear that, you just got to monitor your rads level. And if that gets over 500, then you will start taking damage because you will get radiation poisoning. So keep that in mind. You can find anti-radiation pills, which lowers that, but I'll cover all that later on. But to start it off, we are going to want to get some wood. So you can do this by just chopping down a tree like this. As you can see, I didn't get... Okay, there we go. I got 1. However, that's not actually the fastest way of doing it. There are these wood piles around the map. Sometimes you won't be able to find them, and your best option will just be to chop down a tree. But these wood piles are definitely make it more efficient to get wood. So just take your rock and basically smash it against this tree. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to get about 200 wood, and then I'll be able to start my base because there is building in this game. So I'll just quickly go to that before, or I'll skip ahead to that anyways, so you don't have to watch me whack at this thing for an hour. So be right back. Okay, so I now have about 300 wood, which will be enough to actually make your base. But before I do that, I do have some daylight left, so I'm going to get some stone so I can at least make a bow, so I can kill some animals and get some food. So I'm going to get, or find one of these rocks right here. You won't be able to harvest rocks or iron from this. You'll actually have to find one of these, which says hatchet to gather. However, you don't actually need a hatchet to gather it. But anyways, so I'll find a few of those. And once I do that, then I can start building my base. I'll just get this one. Oh, and well, now that I'm here, you can hear in the background that there is a ticking, which means my radiation levels are rising. You can see that there's this little town over there. It usually rises when it's near NPC buildings like that. So keep that in mind. It's rising pretty slowly, so I don't really have to worry about it right now. So I'll just keep mining these rocks. And then I will go build the base. And when building your base, you're going to want to actually put it in a spot that doesn't have a lot of traffic and that's a bit hidden, but it's still pretty close to places that have item spawns, because you will want to be close to that to actually build up an inventory. But like I said, you're going to want to hide it a bit so it doesn't get ransacked by enemies or just other people around. And you can put doors up and barricades and that kind of stuff, but they can be broken down, so you gotta be aware of that as well. So don't just think if it's surrounded, it's safe, because it isn't always. So that's why you'll want to hide it. However, just for the sake of this video, I'll put it right here because it doesn't really matter. So to start off my house building, I'm going to want to build a wood foundation. For this, I need 8 wood planks, which will be under the resource tab in your crafting menu in your inventory, which you can open by pressing tab and then going to the top and just hitting the crafting button. So I'll make 8 wood planks for now. This might take some time, so I'll just fast forward. Once the planks are done, I can make the foundation as well. So I'll fast forward all of this. Okay, so real quick, while I'm finishing this crafting, I'll show you that you can actually move around while crafting. The timer will continue moving. However, you can't sprint or anything like that. So if you're going to want to run away, you're going to want to actually cancel that crafting. But I don't need to at the moment, so I'll continue. And there it is. It's done. And it'll just go into your inventory like this. You can drag it to your hotbar and then place it wherever you want. So I'll just place it here for now. And so to continue my building, I'm going to make 4 pillars that will surround this square foundation that I have. So again, I'm going to need some planks, and for that I will need 8 because it's 2 per, and I need to make 4 pillars. So 8 total. I'll make those real quick. Once I do that, then I'll want to make the walls as well. However, I won't make 4 walls, I'll just make 3. Because I'll want to leave an opening for the door that I'll eventually get. So that is done. So I can now make the pillars right here. I'll just make 4. I'll take 20 seconds. Once I do that, I'll just put them in the 4 corners and then make my 3 walls. And it's going to be a wide open side. I'll just make it right here. It'll be completely wide open. However, zombies or other monsters won't actually be able to get in. But obviously other players will be able to quite easily. So you won't want to put anything important in here just yet. Okay, the pillars are done. Just real quick, I'll make the walls while I'm putting up the pillars. So I need 4 planks per wall, which is 12 planks total. So I'll just make those right there. I do have enough, which is nice. So let's just place these pillars at all 4 corners. It's pretty straightforward from here. You just put the walls in between all these pillars, and like I said, leave 1 space open for the door. So I'll quickly fast forward to that. Okay, so my walls are up and my base is pretty much complete other than this wide open side. But before I do that, I'll have to make a wooden doorway. I'm not going to bother doing that yet because I do want to wait until I get the metal door blueprint, and that will enable me to actually be able to craft a metal door instead of a wooden one. The metal door is a lot harder to actually break down. You will need explosives to actually do that, whereas the wooden door is very easy to break down. So it's kind of not worth it, in my opinion, to actually build that. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. I can build a campfire if I want, which I'll do right now because it only costs 5 wood. I might as well and have that ready to cook some food because I am getting pretty low on food. From here, I'm just going to want to explore the nearest item spots, which are usually in NPC towns and that kind of stuff. There aren't actually NPCs in them, but I keep calling them NPC towns. I don't know, for lack of a better word, I guess. So I'll just put that down. I'm not going to keep it going because some people might see the light and come over here. So I'll just leave it like that for now. You are going to want to remember your location. And so our next step is to find at least some sort of item or cloth in order to make a sleeping bag. And with that sleeping bag, you can put it into your base, and that will act as a camp that you can respawn at. So when you die, you can respawn right there, and it's quite nice instead of just spawning at a random location. But anyways, I'm gonna go run to this town and see what kind of loot I can find. I'll just fast forward through this real quick, but I'll explain a little on the way. So you'll see that my radiation level is pretty crazy. It's kind of loud. So I'm going to want to make this quick as possible because it is going up quite fast. So what I'm kind of hoping to find is some anti-radiation pills. I'm kind of banking on that a little bit, or a gun, which I just found, so that's nice. So I'm going to get out of here real quick because my radiation level is getting pretty high. And I will take a little bit of damage, but it won't matter too much. Because I do have a med kit. I'd rather not take any damage, but it's actually not the end of the world if I just take a little, as you can see, because now I have a weapon. I didn't get any anti-radiation pills, which kind of sucks because it does make it a lot easier to explore the rest of the town, but I can go back in when I don't have radiation. But now that I have a weapon, I can kill some animals, get some food, and also get cloth in order to make a sleeping bag, as well as maybe another weapon like a bow, which is pretty easy to make because it only takes wood and cloth, and then you can use it to kill monsters and stuff, because you don't really want to waste ammo, gun ammo on monsters. You'd probably prefer to save it for a player. So I'm going to fast forward and just kill some mobs, and then I'll basically end the video there, but I'm going to show you first the sleeping bag and also how to cook some food. Okay, so I killed the wolf, quite viciously, really. So I'm now going to gather his items. I guess that's what you'd say. You're actually going to bash him with a rock, but you know, it's the same deal, I guess. And you'll be able to get some raw chicken breast from him. Not sure why it's chicken breast, but you know, maybe he ate a chicken earlier that day. Who knows? We'll just roll with it, I guess. So you'll keep doing this. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of cloth. And that should enable me to make my sleeping bag when I get back to the base. So that's good. There we go. So I have 20 cloth. That will be enough to make my sleeping bag. And I got some food as well. So I'll head back to the base, show you that, and then end the video there. So like I said, this is a starting guide, which means there are still a lot to learn. But this will at least help you start out and maybe get the ball rolling a bit. But if you want to see a more in-depth guide, maybe further into the game, please let me know. I'd love to do more Rust content because this game is pretty awesome and I'm definitely going to continue playing it. So if you're interested in seeing more content from this game, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. As well, if you hit that subscribe button, that'd be very appreciated. Okay, yep, the house is ready. Oh my god, I didn't even see that building in the background. I built it right by it. That's okay. So anyways, I am back at the base. So first off, I'm going to quickly cook this chicken. I'll split it into two. You can put 3 items in there and they'll all cook at the same time, so that's kind of nice. But anyways, now that I've got that on the fire, I can hit E on it and it will begin to cook. And now I can make my sleeping bag, so this is just in survival. Let's see, 3rd down, and you need 15 cloth for that. So I'll craft this. It'll take 30 seconds, and then I am done. And I can now spawn at my home as soon as I place it. Because you are probably going to die a lot, let's just be honest. So you'll want to prepare with a spawn. And so you can maybe barricade this off and then put your sleeping bag inside, as well as a stash of items to get you back on the right track, so you don't have to do this every time you die. So I can place this right there. Boom! My camp is complete, other than this massive wall. But to actually finish this, you'll want to build a wooden doorway and then find that metal door blueprint, which you can find basically in any item spawn. You'll just randomly find it, and then from there you can build a metal door. But you will need a smelter, which you can do by crafting and all of that. It's pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. So hopefully this video helped you. But my cook, yeah, okay, the chicken is now done, so I can just drag this, right click and eat. So I'll just eat all this, why not? And there we go, my food level is back up, and that's perfect. So that is going to do it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and like I said, let me know in the comments if you want to see more Rust videos. But anyways guys, I'll talk to you later. Peace.